The hum of air conditioning mingled with faint piano music as Eva stepped through the glass doors of Hale Luxury Motors. Heads turned, but not in welcome, only in silent judgment. Her denim jacket and worn shoes betrayed no sign of wealth, only purpose. "Good afternoon," she said softly, but her greeting drowned in the manager's laughter across the showroom. Richard Hale, standing by a crimson Ferrari, glanced at her reflection in the mirror and smirked. "Service entrance is that way," he said without looking at her. Eva smiled faintly. "I'm not here for service. I'm here to buy." The room went still, then erupted in quiet snickers. A salesman whispered, "Buy? With that bag?" Richard approached her, his cologne sharp as his tone. "We don't offer financing on dreams, ma'am." His words cut deeper than intended. Eva nodded once, her gaze steady. "Thank you for your time." She turned toward the door, humiliated but not broken. Outside, the afternoon light shimmered on the chrome of cars she'd helped design, unseen, uncredited. Outside, the laughter from the showroom fades behind closed glass doors. Eva inhales, steadying herself. A street musician nearby plays soft guitar, the melody weaving through the afternoon haze. She looks across the boulevard. Billboards, traffic, endless motion, and smiles faintly. People see price tags, not purpose, she murmurs. A small breeze carries the scent of warm asphalt and jasmine. For a moment, she watches her reflection in the dealership window, fragile yet unbroken. Behind the glass, Richard's figure moves, distorted by sunlight. Eva adjusts the strap on her bag, each movement deliberate. Her calmness contrasts the chaos behind her. She begins to walk, her footsteps rhythmic against concrete, the city's hum rising like applause she never asked for. Eva walks along the street, passing boutiques and valet stations. A woman in designer heels steps out of a Bentley, phone pressed to her ear, barely noticing her. Eva pauses at a cafe window, watching strangers laugh over cappuccinos. For a second, a flicker of sadness crosses her face. Not envy, but memory. Inside the cafe, a small boy tugs his mother's hand toward a model car displayed on a shelf. Eva smiles, whispering to herself, "That's where it starts." Her voice holds warmth, the trace of someone who's built dreams from grease and metal. She looks toward the traffic where luxury cars glint under sunbeams, each one a reminder of her craft and her invisibility. Back in the dealership, Richard leans against his desk, bragging about time wasters to a group of laughing salesmen. Mia stands apart, her brow furrowed. "She didn't look like a scammer," she says quietly. Richard scoffs. "They never do." His voice drips condescension. Mia glances toward the door where Eva exited moments ago, her reflection faint in the glass. Something about Eva's calm exit lingers. The laughter fades into hollow echoes as the showroom lights flicker slightly, the perfection of the space now oddly artificial. In the glass reflection, Mia sees herself, unsure which side she belongs to. As dusk approaches, Eva sits alone at a bus stop across from the dealership. The city hums softly. Cars whisper by, headlights glinting like ghosts of what's next. She opens her phone. An unread message glows. Meeting confirmed. 5 p.m. tomorrow. Rolls-Royce division. Her lips curve slightly, not in triumph, but peace. The irony of the world never ceases to amuse her. She looks back at the dealership one last time. Inside, reflections dance across glass, unaware of what's coming. She whispers, "Sometimes silence is the loudest reply." The wind shifts, and the evening carries her calm into the glittering night. Morning light spills across downtown Los Angeles, painting the glass towers in pale gold. Eva walks with calm purpose, her satchel slung across her shoulder. Her phone vibrates, a message from a private number. "Your driver will arrive in 30 minutes." She smiles, her reflection sliding past car windows as if time itself were testing her patience. Across the street, Mia exits the dealership, head lowered, still haunted by yesterday's cruelty. She spots Eva near the cafe and hesitates. Gathering courage, she approaches. I'm sorry about what happened, she says softly. Eva turns, warmth flickering in her eyes. Don't be. You saw what they couldn't. The words rest between them like sunlight after rain. A city bus roars past, momentarily separating their worlds, yet binding them in something unseen. A quiet alliance of respect. They sit outside the cafe, two worlds sharing coffee between glass and noise. Mia fidgets with her cup, unable to meet Eva's eyes. He shouldn't have spoken to you like that, she whispers. Eva stirs her drink slowly, the spoon tracing small circles that catch the light. People reveal their worth when they think no one is watching, she replies. A silence follows, filled with city hum and clinking cups. Mia leans forward. Are you really buying a car? Eva's smile is almost mischievous. Not today. But perhaps I'm here to design one. The statement lands softly, yet it reshapes the air around them. For the first time, Mia sees not a customer, but someone who belongs on the other side of power. Later that day, Richard scrolls through emails in his office, bragging on a phone call. We only serve real clients, he says smugly. Behind him, Mia knocks lightly. Sir, about the woman from yesterday. Richard waves her off. Let it go, Chen. We sell class, not charity. The phone rings again. An unfamiliar voice introduces himself as Adrian Cross, the owner. Richard straightens instantly. Yes, Mr. Cross, of course. Everything's perfect. His confidence cracks when Adrian's next words slice through the line. I heard about a customer you turned away. We need to talk. The call ends. Richard stares at the screen, cold sweat forming on his temple. Outside his glass office, Mia watches quietly, the faintest hint of justice flickering behind her eyes. Outside the city, Eve walks through a private garage that feels more like a museum. Rows of silent luxury vehicles resting under dim skylights. Marcus, her chauffeur, waits by a deep charcoal Rolls-Royce Phantom. They called to confirm tomorrow's arrival, he says. Eva nods. Let them see what dignity looks like when it drives. Her hand grazes the Phantom's hood, eyes tracing its perfect lines. Her lines, her design, born from sleepless nights and uncredited labor. She closes her eyes, remembering the laughter in that showroom. Tomorrow, they would learn the difference between status and substance. Night falls. The city hum slows to a heartbeat. Eva sits by her apartment window overlooking downtown. A single desk lamp illuminating blueprints spread across the table. Each line tells a story of innovation and persistence. Her phone vibrates, an email from Rolls-Royce Partnership Division. She reads, exhales, and smiles softly. Let's begin, she whispers. Outside, a low rumble echoes, the city's pulse syncing with her own. Tomorrow, her silence will roar, louder than any engine. The next afternoon, the dealership buzzed with the usual rhythm of ego and engine polish. Richard adjusted his tie, rehearsing charm in the reflection of a Mercedes hood. Outside, the sudden hush of an approaching engine cut through the chatter. A low, symphonic hum, unlike anything they'd heard. Heads turned as a charcoal Rolls-Royce Phantom glided to a stop at the entrance. Its chrome shimmered beneath the California sun, a phantom among pretenders. The chauffeur stepped out first, opening the door with quiet reverence. From the back seat, Eve emerged, poised, composed, radiant in a simple cream suit. Conversations froze. The same men who mocked her yesterday now stood mute, their faces flickering with disbelief. Richard's smile faltered as recognition dawned, his confidence draining into silence. Inside, the sales floor felt colder now. Eva walked slowly between the cars, her heels echoing against marble. The air was thick with confusion. Mia stepped forward first, the only one who smiled. "Welcome back," she said softly. Eva nodded, her calm radiating power. "Thank you. I have a meeting with Mr. Adrian Cross." The words rippled through the room like a dropped stone in still water. Richard blinked, stammering, "Mr. Cross, he's not available." Eva met his eyes, not with anger, but with patience. "He'll wait." She moved to the center of the room, standing exactly where she'd been humiliated yesterday, the symmetry now poetic. Adrian Cross arrived moments later, his presence commanding without volume. "Ms. Moreno," he greeted warmly, shaking her hand. "An honor at last." The staff's eyes widened. Moreno, the engineer whose revolutionary hybrid chassis had been the talk of the industry, standing before them. Richard's face drained of color. You're that Eva Morneau," he managed. Eva's expression softened. "The same one who wasn't good enough to browse yesterday." Adrian's gaze turned sharp. "Richard, my office. Now." The room stilled. Eva watched the exchange, not with vengeance, but clarity. Her dignity had returned, not for revenge, but for balance. In the glass-walled office, Adrian sat behind the desk while Richard stood rigid before him. "Do you know who you turned away?" Adrian asked quietly. Richard swallowed hard, words dying in his throat. I misread the situation." "You misread character," Adrian corrected, each syllable calm but lethal. Through the transparent wall, Eva's silhouette could be seen conversing with Mia, light catching her hair like mercy personified. Adrian leaned forward. "Our brand stands for excellence, not arrogance. Clean out your desk." Silence fell heavy. Richard's reflection looked back at him in the glass. Smaller, thinner, exposed. Outside, Eva and Mia stood beside the Phantom. "You didn't have to come back," Mia said softly. Eva smiled, eyes kind. "I didn't come back for them. I came back for you." Mia's breath caught, emotion trembling behind her composure. Across the street, the sun began to dip, gilding everything in amber light. The world felt quieter now, the hum of engines replaced by the hum of understanding. Eva glanced toward the dealership's glass facade one last time. "Some lessons need silence," she said. The Rolls-Royce door closed with a gentle click, the sound of dignity reclaiming its space. Inside the dealership, calm replaced chaos. Adrian and Eva stood beside the Rolls-Royce, its polished body reflecting them like mirrors of two worlds meeting. "Your design changed everything," Adrian said. "You built beauty from restraint." Eva smiled faintly. That was the point, to remind people that elegance isn't loud. Richard's empty desk loomed in the background, a quiet monument to his downfall. Mia approached, holding a folder. "Mr. Cross, this is the collaboration contract you asked for." Adrian nodded toward Eva. "Give it to her. She's the partner now." Gasps echoed softly through the room. Eva glanced around, then said gently, "Let's make something worthy of the people who never get seen." The dealership, once sterile, felt suddenly human. Adrian led Eva to a quiet office where architectural sketches and concept blueprints hung like constellations of ambition. "We've built machines that look like wealth," he said, "but not purpose. I want that to change." Eva studied a design pinned on the wall. "Hollow meaning." "It will," she said. "We'll build luxury that feels earned, not flaunted." Her words landed with conviction that filled the air with new gravity. Through the glass, the showroom gleamed less like a temple and more like a possibility. Adrian extended his hand once more, not for business, but respect. Mia watched from the doorway as Eva explained her design philosophy to Adrian's team. Innovation rooted in empathy. A car, Eva said, should carry dignity, not vanity. Engineers nodded, inspired by her calm clarity. Mia's chest swelled with pride. The same woman who'd been mocked now led the room without raising her voice. Eva noticed her in the doorway and smiled. A silent invitation. Mia stepped forward, unsure, but Eva motioned to a seat beside her. You understand people, Eva said. We need that in our designs too. The room felt lighter, an empire of arrogance now rebuilt on grace. Richard, packing the last of his belongings into a box, paused as the muffled sound of applause drifted from the conference room. Through the glass wall, he saw Eva shaking hands with the team, her laughter genuine. For a moment, guilt cracked through his pride. He stared at his reflection, creased tie, hollow eyes, and whispered, I should have listened. As he walked out, his footsteps echoed down the marble corridor that once amplified his arrogance. Outside, the Rolls-Royce gleamed, its silent engine idling like forgiveness he would never earn. When the meeting ended, Adrian approached Eva by the showroom's entrance. There's one more thing, he said, gesturing to the Phantom. It's yours now. Eva blinked, caught off guard. That's too much, she murmured. No, Adrian replied, smiling. It's exactly enough. She ran her hand across the hood, feeling the smooth metal like a heartbeat. Outside, the sky deepened into dusk, gold turning to violet. Mia joined her, quietly, radiant. You earned this, she said. Eva shook her head softly. No, I remembered who I was. The Phantom's headlights flared to life, as if bowing in respect. Days passed and whispers spread through the city's luxury circuit about the woman who'd walked out of Hale Motors in worn denim and returned in a Rolls-Royce she'd built herself. Reporters requested interviews, but Eva declined everyone. Instead, she worked quietly with Adrian and Mia, drafting blueprints for a new line of vehicles, meant not for the rich, but for dreamers. Luxury, she said during one late meeting, shouldn't be a wall. It should be a window. Mia nodded, taking notes faster than she could think. Through the glass walls of the office, the skyline glowed in the distance, a reminder that greatness begins where pride ends. At sunset, the trio toured the design floor, humming machinery, glinting metal frames, engineers at work. Eva paused beside a young apprentice, showing him how to refine a contour line. Machines mirror their makers, she said, tracing her finger along the curve. Build them with respect, and they'll carry it forward. Maya watched, seeing how effortlessly Eva commanded both precision and empathy. For her, this was no longer about cars. It was about learning the language of grace. Outside, the fading light filtered through glass like blessings over chrome. Richard sat alone at a small diner miles away, his tie gone, his pride stripped bare. The television above the counter played a news segment. Eva Moreno, the visionary engineer, unveiling a partnership with Rolls-Royce. The reporter spoke of humility and reinvention. Richard stared into his untouched coffee, reflections of neon lights dancing across the surface. You build what you believe, the voice said. For the first time in years, he understood the meaning of loss, not of wealth, but of character. He looked up at the screen one last time and whispered, she deserved every bit of it. Back in the dealership, a charity event gathered industry figures under chandeliers and laughter. Eva, dressed in a midnight blue gown, stood beside the new prototype. A hybrid luxury sedan designed for sustainability initiatives. For those who believed luxury could have a conscience, she announced softly, this is for you, The crowd applauded, cameras flashed, and yet her eyes found only Maya's in the crowd. The young woman clapped with tears shimmering in her lashes. Eva smiled, knowing legacy was not about applause. It was about the hearts you awaken quietly. Later that night, as the crowd dispersed, Mia approached Eva near the Rolls-Royce. "You've changed everything here," she said. Eva shook her head gently. "No, Mia, you did, when you chose kindness over silence." A pause lingered, full of mutual understanding. Behind them, the city lights shimmered like distant constellations. "Will you keep teaching me?" Mia asked. "Only if you promise to teach someone else someday." Together they looked at the phantom, once a symbol of status, now one of soul. Its reflection caught both women, equal and luminous in the quiet night. Morning sunlight filtered through cafe windows as Eva and Mia sat by the same table where their story had begun. But now the air felt different. Lighter, fuller. The city bustled outside, unaware of the small miracle unfolding within. Mia stirred her coffee, eyes tracing patterns in the foam. "You know," she said, "I used to think success meant being seen." Eva smiled gently. "It means seeing others first." Silence lingered, soft, healing. Outside, buses rumbled, the hum of life unbroken. Eva leaned back, her gaze lost in thought. "Grace," she said, "isn't a reward, it's a responsibility." And somehow, Mia understood that truth in her bones. After breakfast, they strolled along the boulevard lined with jacaranda trees. Purple blossoms drifted down like soft rain, settling on the sidewalk and on the roof of the Rolls-Royce parked nearby. "When I was younger," Mia said, "I used to envy people who owned cars like this." Eva looked up at the drifting petals. Envy fades when purpose takes its place. A faint smile crossed Maya's face. The wind carried away her reply, but Eva didn't need to hear it. Their steps synchronized, mentor and student walking at the same pace for the first time. That afternoon, Mia returned to the dealership for the first time since the event. The space seemed smaller now, its mirrors no longer intimidating, its shine less hollow. She greeted the new manager with confidence, feeling Eva's voice echo in her mind. "Respect is earned by how you see others." She noticed a nervous young couple peering at a sedan near the entrance. Without hesitation, she approached them with kindness, not calculation. "Take your time," she said warmly. "Every car has a story. Maybe this one's yours." In that moment, she became everything Eva had hoped for. Elsewhere, Eva met Adrian at the design center rooftop overlooking the city skyline. "The prototype's ready," he said. "But so are the people," Eva replied. They stood side by side, watching sunlight dance over buildings, the horizon endless. "Do you ever think about revenge?" Adrian asked softly. Eva smiled, serene. "No. Revenge fades. Redemption lasts." Her words drifted on the wind, carried far above the glass and steel. The city below, unaware, thrummed with life built on lessons quietly learned. That evening, Eva stood in her garage beside the Phantom, running her hand along its hood like greeting an old friend. Her reflection in the car's surface seemed to smile back. Not proud, but content. She whispered, "You've carried more than miles. You've carried meaning." Marcus entered quietly, keys in hand. "Ready to go?" She nodded. "Always." As the garage door rose, light from the setting sun poured in, painting everything gold. The engine started with a low, dignified purr. Less a roar, more a heartbeat. She drove into the horizon, not as the woman they'd mocked, but as the lesson they'd never forget. A week later, the city woke to billboards featuring the new Rolls-Royce partnership, designed by Eva Mornono, for those who build, not boast. Mia stood beneath one on her way to work, smiling through disbelief. Across the street, a delivery truck driver rolled down his window, admiring the same ad. "About time someone made cars for real people," he said. Mia laughed softly, warmth rising in her chest. The words on the billboard shimmered in morning sun, and for a fleeting moment, she saw herself reflected beside Eva's name. Proof that kindness, once sown, always grows in unexpected places. Later that day, Mia hosted a small event at the dealership, this time to showcase affordable hybrid models inspired by Eva's designs. The crowd was different now. Students, teachers, everyday dreamers. Luxury isn't exclusion, Mia told them. It's appreciation. Her voice carried calm authority. Where Richard once stood, arrogance had been replaced by empathy. She gestured toward a modest sedan. This is what happens when grace guides innovation. Cameras clicked, applause rose, and Mia's heart swelled with something beyond pride. It was gratitude. The kind that lingers long after noise fades. Meanwhile, Eva sat in a quiet coastal cafe overlooking the Pacific. Waves rolled against the pier, and the world felt wide again. She sketched idly on a napkin, an outline of a new design that looked more like poetry than machinery. Marcus set a cup of tea beside her. "They're talking about you everywhere," he said. Eva smiled, eyes on the horizon. "Then let them talk about the message, not me." The ocean breeze lifted a strand of her hair, sunlight dancing across her sketch. For once, she allowed herself to rest. Not because the world had noticed her, but because she no longer needed it to. As night fell, Mia drove the prototype sedan through city streets alive with color. She caught glimpses of people, bus drivers, nurses, artists, all moving under the same sky. At a red light, she looked across the intersection and saw the Rolls-Royce Phantom glide past. Inside, Eva glanced her way. For a heartbeat, their eyes met, mentor and student, two reflections of grace. The light turned green, and both cars moved forward in opposite directions, engines humming like two verses of the same song. The next morning, sunlight washed over the city like forgiveness. The Rolls-Royce Phantom glided down a quiet road lined with palm trees, dew still clinging to the leaves. Eva's voice played softly over the scene, her words timeless. "Sometimes life hands you the keys to teach grace, not revenge. To show that dignity, once earned, drives farther than pride ever will." The camera lingered on the horizon as the car disappeared into light. The city's hum faded into silence. Then only the wind remained, steady, endless, like her legacy.